The state of Arkansas recently received quite an honor. We've been ranked as the most pro-life state in America. I want you to join me today as we talk about that. My guests are Jerry Cox from Family Council and Rose Mims from Arkansas Right to Life. You don't want to miss this very special Arkansas Alive. That's coming up next as Arkansas Alive starts right now. I just want you to know that I felt very strongly that we needed to celebrate this press release. So I called Jerry Cox and Rose Mims, or actually my producer did, but we've been working on this, preventing abortion, lessening abortion in Arkansas for many, many years. And they're not the only ones. They'll be the first to tell you in just a minute. But there's a collaborative effort here of people that are trying to stop abortion, trying to save lives in Arkansas. And so I wanted to celebrate this and let you know so you would be able to spread the word and help all the efforts to stop abortion. And Jerry, I commend you and Family Council and Rose, Arkansas Right to Life, all the years that you all have spent working to stop the murder of the unborn. And thank you for taking time out of your schedule, because I know you had to rearrange some things, and I just appreciate you being here.
Well, we're so glad. Hey, what a great thing to be here celebrating.
Yes.
I mean, being the most pro-life state, I was thinking on the way over here, if the Razorbacks were #1 in football, the whole state would be celebrating. And so this is even better because we are saving the lives of the unborn, and Arkansas is the most pro-life state in America.
How long have you been working in Family Council?
Well, I started in 1989, and so you can do the math.
Okay.
Quite a while. I've been at this pro-life work for over 30 years. Arkansas Right to Life, I believe you guys have been at it for well over 40, haven't you?
Right. We just celebrated 45 years. We started in 1974.
Wow.
And I've been with Arkansas Right to Life since 1993. So we've been at it a while.
That's amazing. Well, let me read you the release here. On Wednesday, this was December 16th, Americans United for Life announced that Arkansas is the most pro-life state in America. The pro-life organization ranks each state based on state laws protecting the unborn, the elderly, the disabled, and the terminally ill. This is an incredible statement concerning Arkansas, and every Arkansan ought to be proud to live in a state that has the best laws in the land when it comes to protecting innocent human life. It's something to be proud of. And let me just base everything we're going to say today and have been working on, and that is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Babies definitely are innocent in the womb, and God hates this. So if God hates it, we ought to hate it. But Rose, let me pitch this to you. Is it possible that we become complacent and, how would I say, neutralized when it comes to the topic of abortion because it's been around so long, and a lot of people just think, oh, well. It's kind of like seeing the same highway sign when you drive down the highway. You've seen it so many times. It doesn't mean anything to you.
Many people think that abortion doesn't concern them. You know, that's a decision between a woman and her doctor. But it does concern all of us because we are missing family members. We are missing citizens of our state who could have been paying taxes and contributing to our society, the good of society. And to lose the number of people that we've lost here in Arkansas, hundreds of thousands, and across our nation, over 60 million. You know, abortion affects each and every one of us. I dare say that every person knows somebody, whether they really know it or not, because abortion has taken over our society as a method of birth control. And people never believe that that would be the result of Roe versus Wade, but in fact it is abortion on demand.
Yeah. Abortion is murder in the womb. Now, that might be a harsh statement to you, but the Bible says God hates that. Ronald Reagan wrote a book, Abortion, the Conscience of Our Nation, said we'll sear our conscience if we keep killing babies. I think Mother Teresa said any nation that kills its unborn destroys its soul. We've certainly seen that. Now, we were talking before we went on the air, Jerry and Rose, there are a lot of other people that are involved in this. And Family Council, Arkansas Right to Life, the Arkansas General Assembly has passed more than 30 good life bills since 2011. Governor Hutchinson has signed into law every pro-life bill that came across his desk. Attorney General Rutledge has defended these good laws in court. Ministers, churches, everyday Arkansans, and many others have all worked hard to make Arkansas a pro-life state. So we thank God for that, and we appreciate this opportunity to, quote, ring our bells, sound our horn. Of course, Jerry Cox, you know, is founder and president of Family Council. He's also founder of Education Alliance, the Arkansas Physicians Resource Council, and the Arkansas Justice Institute. Rose Mims, executive director of Arkansas Right to Life. With so much bad news in the news lately, we finally have some good news. Arkansas has been ranked the most pro-life state in America. Now, let me ask you a question, Jerry, since I got this from you. Who is America United for Life? Who compiled these rankings?
Well, Americans United for Life is a pro-life think tank, I call them. They are the ones who come up with model legislation to help states like Arkansas become more pro-life. So when it comes to a woman's right to know bill, where they have to tell a woman about the abortion before they perform it, we got the model bill from Americans United for Life, and it's an excellent piece of legislation. And on down the line, so all these good laws that are being passed, some of them come from National Right to Life that Rose works with, and we get ours largely from Americans United for Life. And so every year, AUL issues rankings for the state. Again, just like football or basketball.
Yeah.
You know, top 25, whatever. Arkansas has been consistently in the top 5 for a number of years. And so, Rose, I think several years ago, we all started talking about, well, you know, Arkansas can be the most pro-life state in the country. Why not? I mean, we're already number 4, 5, whatever. Let's go for number 1. Well, we hung around number 2 behind our good friends down in Louisiana for a couple of years, and this year we made it to number 1. But let me tell you something. Even better than being number 1, I'm going to tell you a little story. I talked about that woman's right to know bill we passed in 2015. When that law went into effect, the first year the numbers on abortion came out, we saw a decline in abortion by about 500. And because of the way those numbers are figured, we could almost certainly trace it back to the passage of that one good law. My son David said to me in 2016, he said, "Dad, imagine in the fall of 2020, 500 little kids putting on their backpacks and going to kindergarten because we worked on that good law and helped get it passed."
Wow.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
And so when we talk about being number 1, it's good to be number 1, but it's even better when you think about who we're helping, because those little kids are going to get a chance to grow up.
Yeah.
They're going to get the same shot that all of us got to go out here and fulfill whatever destiny God has for them. And that's a good thing. And we're, you know, are we going to stop now?
No.
Absolutely not, because they're worth every bit of the fight.
Oh, we got encouragement now. And it's not just the unborn, but the elderly, the disabled, terminally ill. Rose, can you shed some light on what's happening on these fronts? Because Arkansas Right to Life has been at the forefront for many years.
Right. Well, our issues are abortion, infanticide, and euthanasia. So we're very concerned about the impact of legalizing abortion, you know, at the very beginning of life, how that's going to affect later stages of life. And we've seen it with the disabled and now with the elderly, those who are sick. and terminally ill, that their life, they're offered assisted suicide instead of treatment for whatever disease they have. So in last session, we did see a bill in Arkansas that would add a provision in our ban against assisted suicide, physician-assisted suicide, that would allow somebody who was terminally ill, I think 6 months or less to live, could get a lethal prescription to end their life. And fortunately, we were able to fight that back, and it did not even get out of committee. But across our country, states, and I think in 2018, there were over 25 states that had some measure wanting to legalize assisted suicide. And thankfully, most of those were pushed back and not passed. But we have 8 states that have legalized assisted suicide in America. And Arkansas Right to Life with Family Council and the Diocese of Little Rock are really proactively wanting to have a conference, and we are planning a conference in February to educate the general public about this push. It will be back in our own legislature to either, overturn our ban on physician-assisted suicide or amend it. So it's it's coming.
I would like our viewers to know, folks, you need to pray for these people. You need to support their ministries, their organizations, because they're on the front lines. I have sat in committee with Jerry at my side one time when we were building VTN, and I thank God that he was there. Every time I see Rose and Jerry on the news, I'm always very thankful. And so here's their contact information. I don't know which one you have there to put up first, but I'd like to put them both up there. Here's Family Council, 414 South Pulaski, Suite 2, Little Rock 72201, area code 501-375-7000, and there's the website familycouncil.org. Put them on your prayer list, support them with your finances. Here's Arkansas Right to Life information, P.O. Box 1697, Little Rock 72203, and the email is artl@artl.org. The phone number is area 501-663-4237, and the website is artl.org. Write that information down, go online, and send an offering to them, because I know the Arkansas Right to Life March is coming up in just a few weeks, and they need your support. And, if you can pray for them, put them on your prayer list and put them on your donor list to help them. You will be supporting life. Jesus came that we might have life and have it more abundantly. And they're out there fighting for life. So the more support you can show them, the better. Or unless you would like to go stand in front of the legislature down there at the state capitol in their stead.
I tell you what, if they want to come volunteer, there's a place.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Okay, how important is that you have the support of churches and ministers today?
Well,
Rose?
it's critical for us. I mean, that is our base,
Yeah.
believers. Although there are people that, believe in the sanctity of human life who don't necessarily believe in God. But we know that most people who have a belief in God do believe in the sanctity of human life. God is the creator, and that they would be opposed to abortion and think that it is, like you read earlier in Scripture, an abomination to God to murder, to have blood on your hands of the innocent. So they should get involved, definitely.
Rose, what about the youth today? Are they becoming more pro-life than previous generations?
Yes. Thanks be to God, because of the technology that we have. I mean, it's very easy for them to go online and to see the developing human baby. Oh. We have contests for them to write about their pro-life beliefs, to speak about their pro-life beliefs. We have our Camp Joshua, every summer, that brings teens in that are interested in learning more about the pro-life issues, that equip them to go back and speak among their peers, because that in the schools it's there, and they need to be educated so that they can speak to their friends.
So if I was
this.
a pastor and I wanted my young people, could I contact Arkansas Right to Life and send them?
Absolutely. Yes, we have information on our website, and we do contact Christian schools and churches about these programs that we have for the youth.
Folks, we cannot stop this, and you can't leave it all up to people like Jerry and Rose. Jerry, I would like for you to define the difference between the Arkansas abortion rate that's been declining and abortions. There is a difference between the two.
Well, and the abortion numbers and the abortion rate are both in decline in Arkansas. The rate is simply the number of abortions per number of people that you have that are of childbearing age. And so that's probably a more accurate barometer or measure, I guess you could say, of what's going on, because the number of abortions depends on how many people you have. So the number of abortions in California is going to be way higher than Arkansas because they got more people there to have abortions. But that said, the numbers are going in the right direction everywhere when it comes to abortion. I have to tell you, I'm going to tell you, we are winning the pro-life fight. Now, we haven't won it, but we are winning the pro-life fight, and it's because pastors have preached on it, people have talked about it. You know, it's a joint effort. It's the good laws that are passed, but think about all the ladies out here that run the pregnancy centers around the state that help women and girls with unplanned pregnancies. Think about the abortion recovery ministries that are out there. Think about the adoption and foster care agencies that are out there making a way for these people who have an unplanned pregnancy, who maybe don't have the ability to raise a child. It's all across the board that we are winning that. But let me caution us. We can win the fight on abortion and still lose the fight for the sanctity of human life because of the way people are looking at the end of life. I think we've done a real poor job of teaching people that human life is a gift from God, and you have no right to take it, not even your own. Not even your own.
That is so powerful, Jerry. And even though you're on the front lines, a lot of the action that is responsible for Arkansas being the most pro-life state in America is due to legislative action. It's due to you all speaking up and standing up. It hasn't been God reaching down His hand and poof, it's all gone. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them. And I will anoint you to do the greater works. So you've got to work. I mean, you've got to, faith requires corresponding action. It's not just believing. It is believing, but it requires action. You show me your faith, and I'll show you my works, James said. So it takes people that are willing to work, and you can join them. You can be involved in what they're doing. I know people in our church were very organized. We had some people in our church that would organize praying, going down to the abortion clinics and praying and stopping. And of course, you always have thousands of people march during the Right to Life. And you can't stop that. How many years have you been doing the Arkansas Right to Life
This will
March?
be our 43rd, and, you know, it's never been canceled. We're not canceling, you know, next year because of COVID. We're asking people to take precautions, but you can't stop. Like, it's a movement. You cannot stop the people from coming. And so we're coming.
Have you ever had any of the legislators or anybody involved say, you know, you people are always there, you're in our face, you're reminding us? Have you ever had any of them say, when are y'all going to quit? When are you going to give up? No? No,
because they know we're not going to give up. We're not going to give in. And all the, you know, Jerry and I have been here so long fighting this fight that we remember the days where we were shut out. You know, we would, you know, we had enemies actually at the General Assembly that would be nice to our face, but as soon as we walked in the committee room, you know, the knife came out and it was in your back, but we kept coming back, and so they know we're going to keep coming back, and they try to sometimes try to talk us out of not bringing so many pro-life bills. You know, try to only bring a couple. You know, we're going to bring as many as we can bring. You know, we've had 11, we've had 13 during a session. You know, no, not all of them get passed, but, you know, we work at it, and we're going to keep coming back with more. So I think they know better than to try to say, just take it easy there.
You know, several years ago, I received a text from the Speaker of the House of Representatives here in Arkansas, and that text was very simple. It said, "No more pro-life bills." And so I thought, okay, we have 4 we need to pass. So I went to see the Speaker, and he said, "Well, I'll let you pass 2." And so I said, "Okay, well, thank you very much." And I left, and we ran 4, and we passed 4 by the grace of God. And so, you know, it really doesn't, I say it doesn't matter. No matter who opposes what we do, Rose and I are going to do the right thing.
Right.
By the grace of God, we're going to do the right thing. Even if everybody in that building at the Capitol were to say no, we would still say, yes, human life matters, and we are here, and we're going to, by the grace of God, do everything we can.
Like the little boy throwing the starfish back in the ocean.
Yes.
And somebody said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm saving their life." He said, "You can't save them all." He said, "Yeah, but I saved that one."
That's exactly right.
that one little baby.
Yes, and so it's a fight worth making. And I look for a day when we end abortion in Arkansas. And I know there will always be evil. I understand that. We've always had bad things that people do. But this whole condoning and okaying it just as elective abortion, we need to bring that to an end. And we haven't done that yet. I don't know if I'll live to see that day. I pray that I will. But I think about people like Wilberforce that fought against slavery for 50 years. And toward the end of his life, they abolished it. And maybe Rose and I will get to see that day. I hope and pray.
I believe you will. But folks, I want you to know there's a lot of legislation that's been passed, and that is a recent victory in the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals. They decided not to hear the ACLU's case against pro-life laws in Arkansas. Act 45 of 217, Act 733 of 217, Act 1018 of 217, Act 603. This means that legislation is going forth. And that's one of the reasons for Arkansas being ranked number 1 is not just because the number of abortions declined, but because of all the pro-life legislation that's going on. So make sure that next time there's a general election, you make sure that you find out what your candidates believe and put those people in there that are pro-life. That's so important. You're saving human beings' lives. Let me, here I see on my notes, Bayer, I guess that's the aspirin people, just recently gave Planned Parenthood Clinic in Little Rock a $40,000 grant. You know, there are big drug companies, there are big conglomerates, there are political organizations that are funding the pro-death movement, pro-abortion. So that means we, as believers who believe in the sanctity of life, are going to have to give to fund organizations like Family and Arkansas Right to Life. So here's the information. Once again, write it down. Family Council, 414 South Pulaski, Suite 2, Little Rock, Arkansas, 72201. And the phone number is area 501-375-7000. FamilyCouncil.org is the website. Now, Arkansas Right to Life, P.O. Box 1697, Little Rock 72203. Email artl@artl.org. Phone number area 501-663-4237. And, of course, the website is artl.org. Folks, we got just about 3 minutes left. Give you a chance to bring some summation and let people know what you got planned in the future. Now, Rose, I know the 43rd Annual March for Life is coming up, and when is it scheduled?
It's Sunday, January 17th, 2 p.m., meet at the back of the Capitol, march forward. But before we end the show, I just want to give a shout out to Governor Mike Huckabee, who started this pro-life surge of laws when he was governor, who included pro-life bills, and his own legislative package and signed into law the very first Woman's Right to Know in 2005 with sponsor Jim Magnus. It was a great day at the Capitol that day to finally get a pro-life bill passed. So without Mike Huckabee, yes, Governor Hutchinson has followed those footsteps in signing pro-life laws, but we've got to keep a pro-life governor in Arkansas that will sign pro-life laws, a pro-life attorney general who will defend pro-life laws. All the years we had, you know, other attorney generals who wouldn't touch our laws, defend them, and she has been just a champion for us and continues to be.
It takes a team. It looks like everybody's on the team for life.
Absolutely.
And that's so important. Arkansas Right to Life March is Sunday, January 17th at 2 p.m. You organize behind the Capitol, West Capitol on Wolf Streets, and march. And Jerry, what's coming up with
the legislature will be in session beginning the second Monday of January. So there's going to be a legislative session. During that time, they will hear over 2,000 bills. And I know Rose and Right to Life have some pro-life bills that they want to get passed. And we have at least half a dozen that we want to try to get passed. And so what we want to do is build on what's already been done. This is like putting bricks in the wall. And so it's time. It's time for us to put more bricks in that wall and increase Arkansas's pro-life image out here, but not just our image, but actually continue saving more unborn children, which I believe these good laws that Right to Life and us are going to work on, we will be helping save the lives of the unborn.
Yes, sir. And we congratulate your efforts and thank you for being there. Just like you said earlier, one day you'll meet some of these kids that you helped save their life. We wanted you to know, Arkansas, that Arkansas is the most pro-life state in America. And we appreciate you and your support of life. Support these organizations, Arkansas Right to Life, Family Council. And always remember, Jesus is Lord of Arkansas and where you're watching, too.
Send your questions, comments, and testimonies to Happy Caldwell at Post Office Box 26207, Little Rock, Arkansas 72221. Or email happycaldwell@vtntv.com. Remember to follow VTN on Facebook at VTN Your Arkansas Christian Connection. And follow Happy Caldwell on Twitter at Happy_Caldwell. VTN is on Roku. Search VTN in the channel store and add us to your lineup. Today's episode is available to watch on demand at VTNTV.com and click Watch. You can also watch VTN via live stream at VTNTV.com.